Okay, we're just about there. What the fuck is going on? Sorry, guys. I think I failed at that freaking miserably. Okay, sorry. What I was trying to do there is figure out how to get the intro for that Keeper of the Strains had made for us going on. I'd even done a couple test runs with Rick earlier, and we'd had it running. But by the time I go to my screen, I just don't know what the hell I'm doing. So maybe next week's episode we'll get that done. How's everybody doing today?
Good, man.
Good.
Good to see you.
So we, our usual Tuesday night talk. We got some special guests in the house with us right now. We got the Blazing Asian. How you doing, brother?
Good. Good to see you guys. What's up, brother?
What's up, buddy?
What's going on?
See you, man.
And somewhere lost in the matrix, we got Sam at Beelzebub. He's going to be joining us here. He just sent me a message, said he's trying to figure it out. I don't blame him. Seems to be a common occurrence with everybody trying to get on here. It's just takes about 3-4 tries, but then after that, it's smooth like butter, right?
Hey, tell me, he's got to do the secret dance.
Is that what it is? Yeah?
Yeah, he's got to do the secret dance.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it works every time.
Yeah. And you got to film it for posterity too, right?
Absolutely. Hey.
If the dance fails, you got to use a little percussive maintenance on the computer first. That'll work.
Yeah, the good old hammer of persuasion.
Yes.
Yeah.
That usually leads to a new
How's Hadley doing, DP?
She's actually doing fantastic. Thanks for asking. She got off the feeding tube, which is amazing. You know, I mean, just 5 days ago, her chest was wide open. You know what I mean? So for her to be able to be out the feeding tube and everything is just phenomenal.
Beautiful.
It's good to hear.
Yeah, I appreciate everybody's love and support, man. All that energy was definitely felt. All those good vibes and everything.
Cool.
Hell yeah.
Now I heard the rest of Indica B, you're getting the storm that just passed us, yeah?
Yeah, man. We just got it, man. Yesterday, all day yesterday, last night into today, and it's kind of starting to snow a little bit again, man. Yeah, we got like 2 feet, like 45, 50 mile an hour winds. It was a little fucking nutty out there, man.
Oh, wait.
Yeah. So it sucks, man, because like where I live like on a hill, so like it like swoops down, man. So of course everything like fucking gullies in. So you know, like one patch is like 4 feet fucking high. You know what I mean? It's like it sucks, dude. You know, but
right now trying to cross the street is crazy because it's nothing but like little valleys of snow and stuff.
Yeah, same here. So yeah, whatever. So hopefully we don't get too much and spring comes early, man. I want to get going outdoors. So
yeah, I'm pretty stoked.
Oh
yeah.
It's just gonna start up.
I'm just working with Sam, trying to get him on the line here. He should be here any minute now.
And Opie, anybody heard how Ope's doing?
He's a little under the weather, I think. He's trying to get some sleep so he can get some work done, I believe.
Yeah.
Is the last message I read. I'm not sure though.
Yeah, that was last I'd heard from him as well.
What's up, everybody in the chat room already? Appreciate y'all coming out here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Uncle Ronnie in there throwing it down.
Any aches and pains that we should know about?
Yeah, I still don't know how to get into the chat room with y'all.
I just use my phone.
I don't know how to do it through my phone either. It kicks me off of Zoom every time I do it. Yeah.
Oh, does it? Oh, yeah. I don't know. I just hit buttons sometimes and they work.
Yeah.
Everybody, it's Sunday night. It's 8 o'clock, and that means it's
Anybody smoking on anything crazy tonight?
Some cotton candy OG. So I've never heard of it. So
I saw cotton candy flavored grapes at the supermarket tonight.
really,
Yeah.
Did you try one?
No.
They're fucking
They're
fire.
so good. We love those.
I would have.
Yeah, you have got to try one. They literally taste
I'll
like
try
cotton
one
candy.
tomorrow. I like looked at my phone. I was like, oh shit, the fucking show starts for like in 20 minutes. What am I doing at the supermarket? So
they sell actual grapes that are cotton candy flavored fucking grapes.
Yes.
Yeah, you ever had a
cotton
grapple?
candy, but they're grapes. They're green and they're expensive, but they're good.
Wow. That's so crazy. I'm gonna have to go
Look
nab
at so glazed and eat a whole entire like 2 pounds of cotton candy grapes.
It's like 30 years of somebody's fucking work.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah, that's pretty
Integrate.
gnarly to get something to taste like that, huh?
No shit.
I've had a grapple, a great tasting apple.
Yeah, they got all kinds of mixed fruit fucking going on now that about every 10 years, it's just going to get crazier and crazier. So.
I'll tell you what, if I could bite into an avocado and it tastes like a steak and baked potato, that'd be sweet.
Hey guys, I just want to jump in here and
that'd be fucking amazing.
I'm on it.
I just want to jump in here and introduce Mr. Beelzebub here, guys.
Hey,
I'm on this show representing death metal, Mr. Chuck Schuldiner right there. Sam, how you doing, brother?
I think he got froze.
Yeah, I think you might be having connection issues, it looks like.
He looks a little frozen.
Yeah.
Hey, Turple.
Hey,
now I'm good. How's it going?
Sam, if you can hear us, if your video keeps freezing up on you like that, if you shut your video off, might boost your signal a bit.
Hey, want to hear a funny story, Turp? I ate the first one and then I fell asleep on this one and it kind of started to melt it, so I had to go put it back in the fridge.
Yeah, it's just a mixture of 3 really good kinds of chocolate.
Dude, it's amazing.
And peanut butter and ice cream.
Amazing.
Dude,
I don't have anything
good, right?
They are fucking amazing, yes.
We just fucking put a bunch of chips in there and some peanut butter and let it.
No.
I don't know.
No chips. No.
Like butterscotch chips. And chocolate chips. Not like chip chips.
It's fucking good. It definitely.
Dude, I kept eating them thinking like, damn, these are good. And I just kept eating them. I was fucking floored. My arms were like floating, like just eating them. Like
hell yeah. I know that's the only problem is there's not more of them. You gotta have more of them. Keep eating. But I ate the one and then I said I fell asleep on this one. I literally rolled over like as I was eating the other one and fell asleep and half melted it. So I had to go throw it back in the refrigerator.
How about we try and hear what Sam has to say? Sam, you able to hear us there, bud?
Looks like he's on mute.
You're on mute.
Yeah, he's on mute.
I'm so stoked about this.
See, now we can't see him now to tell if he's like giving us.
Hear me now?
Trying to talk to him. There we go.
What's up, brother?
We hear you now.
Oh, we got him.
I know. You got?
You're broken.
Can you hear me?
Yep, we can hear you.
Can everyone see me?
Back on mute.
You muted yourself. You got to unmute yourself.
It should be technology.
There we go. Okay, I'm unmuted. I'm gonna move to a.
Okay, you're off mute.
I'm gonna move to a different room.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay, I'm going to a different room.
Okay.
Hey, while he's doing that, everybody in the chat, thank you for joining us tonight. If you can, go hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't, guys. Thank you for joining us.
Right on, appreciate it.
Who do we have in chat with us so far tonight?
We got Okie 402 Dank. What is that? Dank Gannix? I like that name. That's pretty dope.
Yeah, we got Keepers in there. We got the Boondock Saint, M King 420. We had Lobster Brush Bro. We got Ronnie. Yeah, man.
Nice.
12 people in there.
In there.
Yeah.
What's up,
Here I am.
Hey, we got you.
And we lost him.
Yeah.
What's up, guys?
Hey,
how's it going?
How you
How do I
doing
get
today?
So far, so good. Just getting pissed off at fucking technology.
That's Welcome to my daily life. It's I much
Yeah.
pen and paper style, but
Yep. Hold up.
It's like every time we
There we
try to
go.
start this show, it's like trying to reteach everybody all over again.
yeah.
It's for
I
the
think,
gray
like,
hairs starting to come in.
anytime we bring someone new into the show here, we need to do like a trial. Well, I need to do a trial run with them like 3-4 days in advance, every day before the show to make sure it actually works. Took us
Right.
like 2 weeks to figure out how to get Indica B on the show. It was great.
And then I feel like it took me like 2 months, dude, to continue to feel like without having to text you or message you every day, man, or every show. Like it took me forever.
Yeah, it's like, okay, smoke another one.
Hey, man, come on, man. I smoke another one because I think it's gonna help me figure it out easier and faster. It doesn't work that way, man. You know.
It's one of the reasons I've been loving the CBD weed lately is because I just wail on that stuff and I just get that total stunness to you.
Picked up some of this YMCA, so CBD. Yeah, so yeah, it's pretty good, man. I like it. It's definitely working for sure.
Right on.
Has anybody tried CBD dabs?
Thank you.
No, but I do want to press some of our Charlotte's Web and do some rosin with that. I think
I want to know how the effects would be. They got it like at our local head shop. You know what I mean? Like they got like some CBD shatter. But that's just like pricier than the fucking dispensary. You know what I mean? So it's like I'd rather go to the dispensary and get the CBD
rosin. Right there.
Rosin? CBD rosin?
See that shit? I harvested that the other day. You see, it's fucking almost black.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh, that's that. Nice.
This is that 1-to-1. It's CBD Kush and D's Nut Sour Crinkle. But unfortunately, it was a real small plant. But I mean, it's fucking beautiful. The color of it is just fucking phenomenal, and it smells amazing too. It really does. It smells just fucking amazing. I can't wait. I got another one in here right now, actually, that I'm gonna be harvesting here in a couple days. I'm knocking everything over.
What you smoking on, Sam?
Oh, well, I was smoking a joint and then it was it.
No, all right,
but there's more.
There we go.
Just weed.
Yeah.
Is that the same one?
Just some weed, some grass.
Nothing special. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. Same stuff.
Most important.
I don't know. I don't really get to pick, unfortunately. But that, yeah, totally. This whole journey, I suppose, would be, you know, you're buying stuff that you don't really get to pick, and then stuff comes and you're like, sweet, I just got, you know, an ounce of this, and then a quarter of it is seeds, and you're like, well, this fucking it's bullshit, you know?
Yeah.
So I'm like, I can do that better. I can do that better. You know what I mean? So I'm setting out to do it. I'm setting out to do it better.
Oh yeah, man.
Yeah, man. Congratulations.
Yeah. So thanks everybody, because I feel like you guys are all great fucking handholds. You know what I mean?
Yep. That was your first mistake.
Welcome, man. Welcome.
Fucking just reject stoners, man. That's it.
Yeah.
Hey, that's one plant. That was only one plant. Well, that was that one auto.
Oh yeah, dude.
It was tiny. It was tiny, but I'm gonna make one a lot bigger next time.
You know, the thing about seeds and pot too is like, fuck, man, you don't even know. Like, you find random ones in some of your buds sometimes, but they're like white and they peel away and they're nothing. You know, they're like empty.
Yep.
They're
just a husk or a shell.
Yeah, they're just fails. Probably late pollination fails or just some weird fucking mutation or whatever. But back in the day when we would get stuff, you don't know, like sometimes you'd smoke that shit and fuck your lungs up because you don't know what the fuck they were spraying. Plants fucking trying to feminize.
Yeah, absolutely.
Dumping colloidal silver fucking solution all over them and dunking them in that shit and stuff. Like,
yeah,
like I'm sure I've put some awful things into my lungs, and you know the weed gods are gonna punish those people, I'm sure. But
like I think often about being 15 and using like a tin can
All
I'm like,
fucking roll
man,
insurance
what
and
was
straight
I
paper.
thinking? Yeah, like what?
Receipt
What the?
paper
You
and
know?
shit at work when you're 16. Fuck yeah.
Bible
Oh.
paper.
Hey, that
Yep.
was the first time I ever got busted. Was in my fucking foster home when I was 16, trying to roll a joint with some fucking paper up my fucking notebook for school.
Dude, I'd go out into the
There.
garage and I'd get like an old, like greasy
busted.
socket and shit, and just pack it full of
Yeah.
weed and start smoking
Yeah.
on it. Oh, man, it was terrible.
I remember one time I cleaned a bowl out with a sock for like the resin, and like I swear to God, I tried taking a hit of the sock.
Oh, absolutely.
And hey, if I'm being honest, I tried more than one hit. Just
Hey, man, sometimes you have to, bro. You gotta do what you gotta do, man. You
I
know?
love it. I love it.
yeah. It was
Man,
me
I
and my
used to be a
brother riding
big
back
fan.
from Tennessee on that one, man. Fuck. Yeah, we stopped at every goddamn gas station in the sticks trying to find some tree, man. We couldn't find shit.
I remember back in high school, me and my best friend Sloat, we'd always be boiling up oil, because you could do that because there's always shake and trim around. So we'd be boiling up some, it wasn't honey oil, because you'd be soaking it for a day or two trying to get it in chlorophyll, because we didn't know what we know now. Anyways, you boil it off as fast as humanly possible because you're in a hurry to get high, not realizing when you do that, there's still a lot of alcohol content that gets locked into the tar. So we'd go to do hot knives on because this is that day and age where we're doing hot knives, and they'd fucking explode on you. I would just be like, you go and do a hit, it'd be like fireworks just fucking shoot across like that. I still got on my toe from that.
I'm not gonna lie, I didn't know about. I was lucky enough to to grow up in the Utah Valley area, and we had dank bud growing up as a teenager, and it was just Northern Lights was everywhere, and
We had that here growing up too.
but I didn't. We didn't have concentrates. Wasn't a part of the game out there. Didn't know.
Dude.
Yeah. It was
Hold the
just
phone, sir. Hold.
And I didn't see swag until I went to Arizona. I didn't even know what brickweed was till I went down there. Somebody handed me that shit. I was like, what the fuck is this? I was like, is this a hay bale? Like, I thought it was a smashed hay bale when he first gave it to me, and it was fucking brickweed. I didn't know
Yep.
what the fuck it was.
For sure.
You know what I mean? I'd already been introduced to what the proper plant was. You know what I mean? So that was weird.
Yeah, I think until I grew my own pot, I never even knew what a good bud looked like. I only knew what brickweed looked like. I didn't know that, those things made beautiful, like fucking structures and just good looking wheat, man. I didn't know that was a thing. I thought it all came smashed up and fucked up.
I thought it came in a sliver. Yeah, fucking.
Yeah, exactly.
I remember my first like connoisseur quality bud, and that's like what changed my life. It was some shit in high school called the Fruit. It was some local shit that like a handful of people got, and like I knew the rich guy that sold all the weed in the area. So like, oh man, it was the Fruit. That shit was so awesome. And like every once in a while they get a new grower in and like they fuck up a batch and they call it the faux fruit. And like, so I guess all the other people got that shit. You know what I mean? Yeah, but that was like that's what changed the game for me in marijuana, man. Like I had gotten some good weed and gotten fucking stoned, but like, like fucking how weed's supposed to be, Yeah.
Yeah. What? Like,
I mean,
I remember the first weed I had.
What happened?
You look a lot like Soup. You know that? Anybody ever tell you that?
Soup?
Yeah.
Soup the garden.
I agree, Terry. Hell yeah, man. I agree.
Was you thinking that too? Me?
Hell yeah, I did. Yeah. I
can see it now that you say it.
For a minute, man. I'm like, oh, wait a minute. I was like, wow, yeah, you look at
I don't know.
That's cool.
Dude, Terp, you were in Utah? That's where I grew up.
Oh, really? That's awesome, dude.
Yeah.
What part?
Yeah. Well, I was in Utah County.
Oh, okay.
Like,
well, shit, we were real close.
Yep, for real.
How old are you? How old are you?
I'm 33. 33.
Okay, so I'm grades above you. That's crazy. Yeah, you can. Yeah, that's crazy. We can have another conversation later, but
Right.
World.
I know your area very well. I'll put it to you this way.
Totally.
Here recently this
Totally.
summer, I took a trip to Silver Flat Lake, went camping up there, took a hike up the old silver mines, kind of my old stomping
Hell yeah,
ground.
dude.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, I love Tibble Fort
Right
Canyon,
on.
Alpine Loop, Provo
Yep.
River. Yeah, man. That place is
Yeah.
dope.
Good times. Yep.
Oh yeah.
It's good
Sure.
to visit, but I don't know, man. I had to move out.
Yeah.
I had to run out of the hills and far away. You know, I don't know. You spend time on the
Thinking about
west
it, man.
and the east, and I just landed somewhere in the middle.
Oh yeah, dude.
Sorry.
I think we all kind of did that, you know, like, I don't know. I'm not really Mormon fit in, you know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
I grew up Mormon. That's a tough pill to swallow right there.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep. It is what it is.
Tonight,
small world,
we're,
Sam, that's all I gotta say.
so we want to jump into a
I got
couple topics
family out
for
there.
tonight, guys. We were talking earlier, in the last couple of days about what we should talk about tonight, and it seems like everybody just keeps wanting to still talk living soil. Me and Fluffykins had decided we wanted to go a little bit more into depth about top dressing for specifically bloom phase, because that's where I'm having issues right now. But then we also got newer gardeners like Blazing Asian here who wants to know about this stuff. DPO, he always wants to know about this stuff. Beelzebub, you're texting me every day. We're talking up some stuff. So it just seems like let's talk more living soil. I would like to hear about how we can up bloom boosting a little bit organically. It'd be my main area of interest. But
hey, can I say one thing too before we get started? I'm sure it might sound kind of cheesy, but I just want to take a fucking time, real quick second. Let's all take a toke for Subcool. Yesterday was a year, man. He passed away. I look up to him. He's a legend in my eyes, and I've learned a lot from watching his stuff. So, yeah, man. Shout out to rest in peace, Subcool, man. You always
Hold on. Let me get something real quick before you do that.
So let's all take a toke for Subcool if we can, guys. Everybody in the chat, you know, this one's out for you, brother.
Yeah, for sure. I was watching a podcast today, and his wife was on there. She met him over 20 years ago, and it was quite an interesting story on their lives.
Yeah, I seen one late last night. Talking shit with Eagle. He did one last night with her, and it was pretty interesting. It was pretty.
That was the one with Eagle.
Yeah. I watched it live last night. Yeah. It was really good.
Yeah, I thought it was kind of cool. What is that? Is one of his kids or one of his old business partners or whatever who brought his channel back with some old videos that had never been released. Yeah, I was really enjoying watching some of that.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah,
it's really cool.
Yeah, it is. I think that's Eli. That was his business partner that he did a lot. He did that bowling alley startup with. I think
is that who that was? Okay.
Yep, I'm pretty sure that's who it is, man. That's who it looks like to me from all the videos that I see from the past when he documented them starting it up and stuff. And they look identical to me, but I could be wrong, man. I smoke a lot of weed, so.
I had a whole bunch of his beans. Before I even realized they were his, man, which was kind of cool. Once I did realize that, you know, I was like, oh shit, I gotta hold these, man. You know.
Hell yeah. You ready, Terry?
I'm ready now. I got the right stuff in here, so let's do it.
All right, let's take a rip, guys, for Subcool, man. Rest in peace, brother.
Right on, man.
Oh, they're gonna get me kicked out of my phone.
It won't be the first time. It won't be the last time. I know.
How did you know that?
The psychic.
Wait, what am I missing? What happened?
Psychic ability.
Here's the missus. Say hi.
Hi.
Beelzebub.
Hi. Hey, y'all do some great art. I love y'all's art.
Hey, thanks. You,
yeah, for sure.
You do too.
Hey, thanks, man.
You should post up some of your tattoos, dude.
Hey, do you still go to the drum
Dude,
I'd like to see.
What's that?
Right? Do I still go to the drum circle on Sundays? I used to, yeah. I used to live.
Is that still a thing?
Well, someone got stabbed like, I don't know, 9 years ago.
Steve,
And ever since then, it's gone downhill.
Really?
Yeah. Like,
Man, I remember like 25 years ago, that was the spot, dude.
yeah, for real. I mean, it was for a long time, but then, yeah, so like I said, someone got stabbed and then cops were there all the time. So it just wasn't.
We'd feed soup to we'd feed soup to the homeless.
Yep.
And then there'd always be a drum circle. You had the guys with their dogs, and fucking, there was always tea going around. So yeah, it was always a good time.
Yep. Yep. Yeah. I used to be. Yeah. Anyway, topsoil. What are we doing? Top dressing. That's good because we should talk about that because I just went into the flower 2 days ago.
Oh yeah.
Which is pretty exciting because that's my first, so like I dropped 2 seeds and consensus on the cannabis says they're females, so that's pretty exciting. I'm like 2 for 2.
Yeah, dude.
Honestly,
Yeah,
honestly, I was hoping for a male just so I could like get or learn what I need to look for in the future. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What are you growing?
Granddaddy purple.
Squish gang.
Let's get into some of this top dressing and living soil talk that we were wanting to get into.
Yeah.
So
Can I ask a question real quick?
Yeah, you betcha.
All right, cool. So I was asking Fluffkins today because I was about to order some build a soil shit, and then I was just like, dude, like that's a lot of money. You know, like I'm broke as fucking pinch for a soil. You know what I mean? So I was on the phone with Fluffy, and he was kind of coaching me in how to beginning. And so I had some questions about like peat moss. You know what I mean? What do I need to look out for not to get with peat moss for my starting? You know what I mean? Like if I'm starting my soil.
For me, I mean, I don't know. The big thing, the peat moss is kind of, I've never really seen anybody have an issue with it besides it gets fungus gnats real easy. And so you always make sure like that when you buy that, it's sealed up real well, and make sure it's still kind of moist and stuff like that when you buy it. But I've never, it's not like cocoa. Like there's some cocos you got to make sure that they are like flushed out and they're like pH balanced and shit like that, because cocoa can get wild on you. I've never run into that with peat. So I think you just look for something good, look for something sustainable, maybe something like OMRI certified. I can't really see any reason that it would be bad. So I don't have a good answer for that one. I think peat's peat. Just, if you get a hold of it, you use it,
Cool. Yeah, that's what I figured. But
so what were you saying with that? You said if you had it, you use it up. You don't hold it. You don't save it. You just use it when you have it. Is that what you're saying?
Who? Me?
Fluffton.
I'm just peat. Pretty much, if you can get a hold of it, I've never seen it affect a grow. I've never seen it have crazy like pH swings or weird salt imbalances or anything weird happen with it. So
yeah, like you would with cocoa and.
Yeah, exactly.
Would you recommend the peat over like the Pro Mix or something like that?
Well, Pro Mix is mostly peat too.
That's all. I was like, it's basically the same stuff. It's just real compressed more so.
Yeah, and Pro Mix they add some nutrients. Yeah, Pro Mix is more of like an actual like mixed soil.
Yeah, and you need to put perlite in it too.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's already got the perlite in. Now, do I need to add?
No, you
more
need to add
into
perlite.
that?
You need to add perlite to it, I believe. Right? Don't it?
ProMix, I believe, has it in it.
Oh, does it? Okay.
It's been a minute since I used it, but they use it real sparingly, so it's always a good idea to kind of fluff it up more anyway.
Yeah, I keep a fucking giant bag around just because I keep everything 50-50 anyway. Whatever I do, with my 50-50.
I like to use rice hulls in mine.
I do that too, bro.
Rice hulls.
I do that too, honestly, because I had some, so I actually lined the bottom of my pot with rice hulls. So
it's good. It's a good silica boost. When that stuff starts breaking down, it's great for the plants, man. It gives them a nice rigidity, or turgidity, I guess. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, it's a good silica source. So
great. I'm out of silica, so that's a good thing to know, man. Thank you. Appreciate that, because
it breaks down super slow. I mean, it's a slow breakdown, but
that's okay though. That'll work for right now. Cool.
I picked up a bag of shrimp compost that is mixed with a bunch of peat there a couple weeks ago that I'm gonna start trying. The reason I did that is over the summer at some point in time I started picking up bags of mushroom compost from our feed store that's in our area, and just using that is putting it in my tea bag when I brew up my teas for the extra microbial action. And I noticed that started kicking some ass in my garden, so I got into the habit of using that, and it top dressing occasionally with it. Do
you like that more so than like the worm?
I use them both.
Compost, both.
I'll use them both.
Do you use the fungus or the mushroom for the brews, or do you use that as a top dressing as well?
Primarily as a brewing thing, but I did use it as a top dressing a little bit here and there. I want to play more with that. And so I went in there a couple weeks ago and I asked if they had any more, and they were out of that. But what they had was this mushroom compost. So as soon as they said, or not mushroom, sorry, shrimp compost is what I meant to say. So right as soon as they say shrimp, I'm thinking you got chitin in there, which is going to be really good for your plant stuff and that. So we're going to start doing stuff. I got that second sip pot that I've got to get done here at some point in time. And I'm thinking for my layer just on top of the perlite, I'm going to maybe put a layer of that a couple inches thick and then start throwing the other amendments and stuff on that, see how that does. But also I plan on using that is throwing it in the tea bags too. If it's like I said, it's between the shrimp and the other stuff that I can't. It's been a couple weeks since I read the bag. I'm just finally now happy that I have something to add to the conversation. So I thought I should tell you guys.
I use lobster compost, man. I love it. I use the Costa Maine stuff, man.
You're right. You're right there. Yeah.
Lobster powder and stuff.
I use that, and man, I use their worm castings too. If I don't obviously have, in hand from the farm there, the worm farm, but the worm bin. But I love it, man. I love that stuff.
I was so intimidated by it for so long. Like, oh my God, living soil, I'm so scared. It's so complex and all this. But like, the more you learn about it and get into it, it's just like, oh no, it kind of makes sense,
If I'm not
set up laws and rules that it's got to abide by, you know what I mean? And
if
I would use it too if I was there. That's fantastic stuff. I just got the stuff that I use that comes in a mix is just fishbone meal, so I don't even get. But I mean, I think there's some crab meal in there, in the one I got too. Which is good. And then I know that there's kelp. I put kelp in everything.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean that stuff is fantastic, even as a foliar too. So for veg and early transition.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, put it out in flour.
Yeah,
man.
Personally, when you're making like your soil or you're doing any of that, you're top dressing, I absolutely love that mushroom compost, like you're saying. If you can get a hold of mushroom compost, I think it's great. It adds, an extra fungal layer, shit like that. Like good stuff. But never just rely on one. Yeah. And never just
your leftover cake and grind that stuff up and throw it in your tea.
Oh hell yeah.
Yeah, and I guess the new cool thing is growing. You can grow cordyceps inside of a mason jar.
You can grow what?
Cordyceps. They look like Cheetos, bro. Like Cheetos growing out of the ground. They're little orange Cheetos. I swear to God, and they're edible. But You can grow those in canning jars, and then when you're done with those, scoop those out with a spoon and use those. That's mushroom compost right there.
Fuck yeah.
I'm gonna do that. I'm not actually doing it as we speak. But
what about those CO2 mushroom bags?
There are lots of people doing it already.
I ground my mushroom bag up, dude, and put mine in there. My CO2 bag, I ground mine up. Mine's in my shit right now.
Yeah, if you were gonna use something like that, absolutely. Once it's expended its life, you take that and you throw it back in your soil. I mean, that's a perfect thing to throw back in. Absolutely.
Yep,
I got a bag of bokashi too that's got some Malibu fucking compost in it. It's pretty fucking good too.
Oh, dude, I just got a
reading
whole
up on
bunch
some
of
that stuff today, man.
What's that? What's that?
I was reading up on some of that bokashi shit. And that sounds like some pretty gnarly stuff. That's a whole nice lineup. Because they were talking about this one guy I was listening to that Embracing Organics today, and they were talking about having he had a pre bin before the actual compost. You know what I mean? To where it broke down just a little bit more. So when he threw it in the worm bin, it just broke down a little bit faster. But that shit's super dope. How am I ever going to get a girlfriend when I'm going to have a worm bin? I live in a tiny ass little apartment studio, but you know what I mean? I'm just thrilled by it. You know what I mean? I got a tent full of girls. What do you mean?
Hey, baby, got worms?
Hey, man. I'll tell you what, once you throw some of that, your own homemade worm castings all over your girls and you start making them dance in the light, you ain't gonna give a shit what that woman thinks.
Yeah, if we're talking organics in this panel, Fluffy's the man. He's doing it. He's in it. He's in it to win it. Sure.
Yeah, black pine.
Man.
Okay, so let's try and keep this on track here. So we got Blazing Asian on here with us, and he wants to start out a living soil. So if he's going to start trying to build a soil, what would we? Let's try and go as easy. What is the stuff he's most likely to be able to find at his local grocery store? We're not talking about hard to find. I'm not talking about ordered off the internet. It's going to be here next week. I want stuff that he can go to the store and he most likely going to be able to find.
So I mean, the last run that I'm getting ready to set up, I'm going to do 2 40-gallon pots, I think is what I'm going to do. I bought all my stuff at either Lowe's or Menards.
Okay.
Every bit of it I bought at Lowe's or Menards, so easily to get a hold of. So I've got a 2.5 cubic foot thing of Pro Mix or just a peat, bale. Beyond that, I'll get a bag of castings. The largest bag of castings, I can find, but I make my own, but most people, you're going to buy it. So go buy some castings. That mushroom compost is something I always use. It's easy to get a hold of. So I use that every time.
Cheap too.
You mix. It's
cheap.
Very cheap.
Up here, it's $8 a bag or something like that.
It's cheaper than that here. It's $3 for a
it's $3.50 down here or something like that. Yeah, and I keep that shit on hand and I love it. I throw it on every day. I top dress. I do all that. Beyond that, you need perlite. You need some kind of aeration. You need either perlite, vermiculite. A lot of people are going with vermiculite because if you're making a living soil or you're making a no-till or something, you're going to want it to last for a long time, and vermiculite will stay kind of lodged in the soil better than the perlite will. Perlite will eventually work its way to the surface and then all your aeration's gone. So, if you're making a long-term pot, you want things like
pumice.
Pumice, yeah.
Pumice is another great one.
Rice holes.
Yes, rice holes.
Pumice,
Absolutely.
rice holes, cocoa, earthworm, castings, probably some aged forest wood in there would be great, like chunky forest wood.
I would say too, just be careful if you have to buy castings, just make sure you buy quality castings because you can get castings that are fucking shit, man, that are absolutely, and they'll bring nothing but headaches. Just make sure you buy quality. Spend the extra money if you have to, if you don't have a worm bin or something, But
I'm glad you said that because I almost bought the cheapest castings I could find on Amazon today. You know what I mean? But I was like, hold on, let me hold off before I click that button. and see what everybody says tonight. Yeah.
Yeah, you want quality castings. I mean, if you're gonna buy castings, you might as well just get what you want, and when they come to you,
Have you
want that
guys used
stuff to be
that black
wet and
gold
heavy.
stuff?
I have not.
All right.
Is it?
So of all the things that you want to really spend on, if you're on a budget, would be your castings.
Your castings are gonna be your most expensive thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Because they're just not cheap in general. You know.
Right.
Comparatively to everything else, for the amount you get, the castings are just expensive. So beyond that, I mean, that pretty much sets up your soil right there. You're pretty much ready to go at that point. You know, once you have that.
Now, what ratio do you want to go?
So I will take if you did it like bag for bag. You've seen that big bale Pro Mix like I was showing you earlier. I'll take one of those to a bag and a half of compost, a large bag of earthworm castings, 5 pounds of rice hulls, and then I'll just aerate with either vermiculite or pumice until I feel like it's airy enough. And I'll just work from those ratios right there. If I'm using, I'll just do it by bag, and that works for me. And I amend a little bit in the very beginning with like some down to earth biofish. I like the biofish specifically. It's got some live microbes and stuff in it, and it's all fish based. We all know that shit brings dank, so I like that.
I just want to put something out there too, if I can. Yeah, because if we're talking about cheap, right? That's what you brought up, like the cheap, and I get like worm castings need to be expensive, and sometimes you buy stuff off the shelf and it can be loaded with all kinds of pests and stuff you're not ready for and stuff. But there are things that you can buy cheap off of Amazon, that are like $30, and comes in a powder form. They mail it to you with an ice pack in there, even though you probably don't need it, this time of year. But it comes with 3 sets of bacteria, your SB, your SF, and your HB, and those things will pretty much go inside any of that bad fucking soil or anything you got, and they'll eat up all them fucking bugs, and they'll eat up all that bullshit. And if you get a healthy dose of mycorrhizae raw, now makes I feel like their products are pretty, just from what I read, decent.
I've heard good things about them.
Yeah. So they make a grow and a bloom for fairly cheap, and recharges obviously those things with some added humic acids and stuff like that. But I'm just talking as a basis. If you have to use stuff that's off the shelf and you can't get the expensive stuff, you can make the mycorrhizae and the beneficials do the work for you. And I actually have some extra HB. If somebody is having some soil issues within our group, let me know. I would love to shoot that stuff out to you so you can get it in there and try it out. So I'll show it on camera. Go ahead and continue. Sorry, Fluffy. I just wanted to say that before I forgot.
It's all good, man. Actually, it brings up a really good point. You're putting the compost, you're putting the castings in there all for your microbes and your bacteria in your life. I mean, that's the basis of like your living soil. So like he's saying, if you can't get a hold of that stuff and you would have to amend, but then with microbes, you can bring that all together without having those quality pieces. If you treat
it while it's in veg, and you continue to treat it, through its first couple phases, those plants as they go into flower, when you transition them, and you feed it accordingly, because this stuff will last for up to 4 months in your fridge. So when you get it, you can buy it in 3, or you can buy them each singled out. But they work really great. And if you start them in veg, you can get those, those ringworms in there, and those nematodes in there, eating up all that bad stuff. But they come in a little package like this. And then the ones that Amazon has is Nature's Good Guys. So.
Oh yeah, I used some of them before too.
How did you like that?
I thought they worked great. helped with my fungus gnats and stuff, you know, and any
Yeah, they
large.
list them all off on here, and I can just tell you right now, the HB is the grub soil pest exterminator, and it goes after several of them, which is what you do. You start finding a lot of of that stuff in the bad earthworm castings, like we're talking about, and then SC is a flea and soil pest exterminator. So depending on whether you're in the cities and stuff and you got cockroach problems and shit like that, it happens. You get them in those buildings and stuff up there, and that
Yep.
stuff will take care of any kind of problems you get, with your outdoor and all that stuff, moths, fleas, flies, cucumber beetles, stuff like that. And then your SF, which is your fungus gnat and your root knot exterminator, takes care of your fungus gnats, root aphids, thrips, termites, whatever you got going on. Under a microscope, they look like a big, long, fucking nasty looking worm, So.
Yep.
Which one's that one you were reading there, Turf? The Nature's Good Guys?
Yeah, this is Nature's Good Guys. You can buy the triple. I'm gonna hold on a second. I'll help you all out here. Get that up.
That's what I got. The triple threat.
You got all that stuff, and what you doing, Ricky Bobby? No, I'm just playing. Sure.
Yeah, that shit's awesome. That's good stuff to control the pest. That's for damn sure.
And you know what? It's fairly cheap online too. So I would say, as long as you're not trying to buy it and you live in Arizona and it's 120 degrees and you're depending on shipping air conditioning to take care of your microbes, then it's probably, you know what I mean? Who knows? It's iffy. And then if you got a microscope, I mean, obviously that's going to help you out quite a bit. Otherwise, it's just a shot in the dark. But
yeah.
I mean, it's a
And
starting
the other
point
thing
for
was-
anybody who wants to not have to dump fucking Dr. Zymes all over their fucking inoculated root system that they're trying to get healthy.
Yeah, that's a lot cheaper
Yeah,
too.
Yeah, that stuff's kind of meant for houseplants only, not really like when I manage my IPM out in my head, I like, that other stuff for houseplants, and then, I like other stuff for other plants. So.
Yeah.
Right.
So the Dr. Zymes, I mean, I kind
So
of
this
been
is
using
extra that I don't need because of unwanted issues I've had over the past. So, but this is extra. If one of you guys want to try it out, it's just sitting in my fridge. It's only good for 4 months. Let me know. I just have the HB right now, so that one's probably really only going to do you really good in late flowerish, I guess. So. Known to help increase yield too, I guess. Kind of help clean up that soil and get it ready to get re-inoculated.
Would that be good if you're bringing some clones in? Would that be good if you want to for like preventative measures?
Oh yeah, it's a beneficial nematode, man.
Yeah.
It's in there. If you have a living soil system, a soil web, a soil food web, this is part of that soil food web.
Fuck yeah. Well,
I mean,
hey, I'm
nematodes and mycorrhizas.
Me and Blaze and
go
Nation are
together
about
like
to put together some soil. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah,
nematodes,
help you guys.
mycorrhizae and beneficials go together like peanut butter and jelly and bread, bro. It's just gotta happen,
Hell yeah.
I gotta run out and smoke a joint. I'll have my phone going on. I'll be in the chat on YouTube going on, but
you should just
hotel room, guys.
Hey, you forgot all your edibles, huh?
Yeah.
You just gotta just boof a couple nugs. It's like time release.
So like, yeah, so yeah, this is a pretty good gripe of mine here before I head out real quick. Is like, normally I'll bring home like my cannabis infused olive oil, a bunch of like full spectrum oil, and if I need like gummies, whatever the hell else we might have around the house just to get me through the night to sleep or whatever. None of that shit. I was like, motherfucker. So as a guy who sleeps like shit at the best of times, guess how well I'm sleeping these days. But I have a shit ton of flour. There's not any fucking chance in hell I'm running out of flour while I'm here. So it's just like, wake up in the middle of the night, 3 in the morning, whale a joint back, Freaking go back, lay there. Please fall asleep.
You just got to get a smoke-friendly room, brother.
Well, it's like most of the places we stay, you got like your front door's right there, right? It's just I'm stuck freaking in a Sandman hotel. And well, we've all been to those. Great.
I was wondering how that shit works out there, like with it being like completely fucking legal, you know, like so you can you in smoking friendly places, are you able to smoke weed indoors? Like
I don't know. I haven't come across one of those, but I know you're not allowed to smoke in public.
They treat it like alcohol, basically.
But if you go to like, so I'm staying in a Sandman hotel, I just go right outside the door. I stand at the same fucking spot as someone would go to smoke a cigarette, and nobody says anything to me. So it's, and I pretty much have always done that. If I was able to just go outside my front door, I would just literally probably wouldn't even close my freaking door the whole way because I'd have music playing in here or something like that. And
Justin Timberlake.
Yeah, I'm bringing
Swifty.
sexy
You a
back.
Swifty, dude? Swifty. Hey.
Yeah. All right, guys, I gotta go get high as fuck. I'll keep talking.
Good luck. Hey, I got a question.
Yeah.
When you guys bring home a clone, right? You go somewhere and someone, whatever. Do you guys quarantine them?
Fuck yes.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Most definitely.
How long? For how long?
I've never done that. I don't ever do that.
Weeks,
me getting involved with a circle of people and the idea of sharing and the idea of doing what I'm doing now was never in position before in the past.
Yeah, I've never taken clones from
But
anybody.
just going off
like if you know where it's coming from and everything.
Going off the
I got a group
of
of
Subcool and fucking Rasta Jeff and some of them other guys, you know, like they teach you all the same stuff, you know. So quarantine them.
Yeah.
Within a circle of
I
friends, I feel like when you can get involved with a circle of friends that are practicing those things and are using like the right stuff, I feel like, you know, it can be a good thing. But I'll get a clone. If I get a clone from another friend, I'll take it and put it in the cloning machine, and it'll be isolated in a zone with UC roots that's one molecule off of being bleach, and and I'll let it run in that thing for, you know, fucking 15 days.
Yeah.
Spray that down.
Put it in.
Treat it with a biofungicide and an insecticide, you know, twice a week, until you know it's growing healthy and green and ready to go, and then plant it
into the cloner.
Yeah, so if you're using UC roots in your cloner, then you're pouring that stuff in there every 3 days is what I do.
Okay, cause see, I'm about to pick up like probably about 120 clones, so I'm gonna be, you know, having to quarantine quite a few of them myself. So
you're gonna be busy. You better
like I don't.
You fucking got big real fast, Bobby.
I know, man, almost too fast.
Well, welcome to the jungle, man.
Yeah, that's right.
Hey, man,
you might as well jump in.
Right.
Hey, man, I can't wait till I can get in and get big. Don't worry about it. I got plans, bro.
Wow, yeah. Hop, skip, and a jump away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It don't take long, man. It don't take long. It really don't. You seen Steve, so you know.
Yeah.
Hey, you put.
Hey, you were just talking about this. It seemed like yesterday, bro.
I know.
I got plans. I got plans with Indica B, man. That's the future, man. Canacope Farms, dude. That's what I want to be a part of. That's what I want to try and help and see what happens, you know. So that's what it is.
Yeah, dude, that's a good mission right there.
Oh yeah, man.
Sure.
I heard that guy's a good guy.
I found a way to, you know, I have a system for you know, germinating, and it's really good for hunting, and I know what I'm doing, and it kind of speeds things up, and I can't wait till I just have open space and room to fucking do the things I do, because it's gonna happen real fucking fast, that's for sure. So
yeah, bro, rock and roll.
Yeah,
all I want's fast fat roots and fucking fat fruits.
Oh, Bobby over there got the torch out. What's he doing? Ah, shit.
I know he's been
That's some of
swinging
that-
around.
Hey, man,
one
clean
you
that
squat
motherfucker,
with.
man. You can't be squishing all that good shit and come out here with a dirty ass rig like that, man. Come on. I'm
Hey,
doing
You gotta
busy
squish
time,
some
man.
more.
I'm
Dude.
dabless tonight. It's okay. It's all right. Hey, those half grams I got though, that Jack the Ripper, that was some shit. Yeah.
Hey, I'd love to get
how,
a
Jack
Ripper.
How you like squishing that shit? You got any weed left to squish, Bob?
Where'd you get Jack
Squish
the
it all
Ripper from?
Jack the Ripper?
Yeah.
I got that from the dispensary there. Alchemy was the company that did
okay.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know who they are.
Yeah, they're pretty good. It was some live resin. It was nice.
We ain't got them down here. Not that I know of. I ain't seen it anyway.
Illinois doesn't
they
have
got the little
solvent.
chemistry. They got the little beaker. It's like a beaker symbol with a triangle thing, and
Yep.
Right?
Yep. It looks like wood grain, kind of.
right.
Yeah.
Well, I just remember the beaker the most, but
Hey, this is totally off topic, 100,000%. Ooh, that looks nice, Turk. But Fluffy sent me fucking a catnip video compilation today, and like, so I went out to Target and got some catnip. Oh damn, Bobby, damn.
Looks like peanut butter,
nice.
man. Like
Ooh,
peanut
wait.
butter. Lemon
Turn
pepper.
it down.
Oh, dude, that
Yeah,
video
that
you
cat's
sent me
over
back
there.
of your cats was fucking hilarious.
Oh my god, I sent him a 2-minute video of my cat on catnip. It was great.
Yeah,
It was
all
awesome.
geeked out.
And then
All
I
geeked
gave the other cat some too, and then I sent him another video, and I was like, it was that indica and sativa type thing. I'll put it on the group thing tomorrow. It's pretty fun because like one cat's just like doped out like this, you know what I mean, and like the other one's just like. Ah. So you know how they got all the memes like indica and sativa type shit. Yeah, it's funny. But
Yeah, that one has actually a really good one for the indica sativa one. It's real good.
I thought it was kind of funny. Oh wait.
1997. Sorry, we were in our own little world there. What's up,
Hey,
dab time?
Hey, it's all
Dab
right.
time.
Fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
Well, they're all, hey, let's be buds. What's going on?
He's observing.
I know. I haven't heard him say anything.
He's zoning. He's zoning out. Rick, what's up, Rick?
Rick,
He
I'm
took
sorry.
that hit for
Rick,
cool earlier, got him wore out.
Hey, is there any way we can get Rick and Bob on the same screen together, like on the top together, so we could just be like, we could just put Ricky Bobby across the middle of the
yeah, that's good.
Holy
Shake and bake.
We need a.
Hey, speaking of shake and bake, my food stamps came on today.
Dude, I've been trying to get food stamps, bro. I've been trying to get food stamps for like fucking the whole pandemic. I
Hey, that
swear
was
to God.
that was one good thing the joint did. You know what I mean? You get out of the joint, you get your food stamp.
Well, I don't
You
really
almost
have
did.
an income, so like, you know, hook me the fuck up right now, man. I could use it for real.
Alexa,
I guess.
Go out and commit a crime.
play tribal seeds.
Yeah, good on that. I've done enough of
I
that.
run.
Yeah, right? I know.
Alexa, volume down 3 points.
Alexa, volume up. 7. I was trying to see if my voice would trigger it.
Well, it didn't work.
My buddy comes over here and his works on my phone all the time, so he'll set the timer for the dab off my phone. I'm like, what the fuck?
What's up,
Yeah, mine
Bladen?
can't tell the difference
He's
between
back.
mine and my son.
I know.
Hey, how far do you think Caribou got into the joint before he was like, oh fuck, I'm stoned?
I don't know. He might have lit another one.
Hey, I don't ever realize how stoned I get until I get outside my apartment, because I'll spend too much fucking time inside my apartment. Now that I'm like basically working out of it. You know what I mean? It's just like, what the fuck, man? So like, I'll get outside. I'll be like, Jesus, whoa, I'm stoned.
I know. That's how, well, unfortunately, the other day I was driving and I had an edible attack, man. It was like all of a sudden, like, they hit me. I'm like, holy fuck, where am I at? Where am I going? And it's like, I grew up here, but I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I'm lost, all of a sudden. But it was because of the heat, man. It was the fucking heat in the truck just like hit me all of a sudden, man. I'm like, what the fuck, man? I'm hot. Holy shit. I'm fucked up, man. Like, where am I at? I really didn't even know where the fuck I was going. I really didn't. I ain't never been like that before, man. Not off edibles, but I was out the other day.
Hey, the first time I got messed up off edibles, it was the ones I made, and like I was legit like tripping almost. And this was recently, you know what I mean? And I got a good tolerance, you know what I mean? And it was just like, man, me and the person I was with at the time, like melted into the floor type shit, you know what I mean? Like it was wild.
Yeah.
It was an experience.
Do that, man.
Yeah. I was like, no way.
Oh, bro, look at this. I got some fucking, I'm going to make some mad fucking edibles. You see all them?
What are those, dollar bills?
Rosin bucks.
Show that again.
I heard those make good edibles.
Yeah, really. Those look like.
No, are those all pucks, dude? Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, great. That would be great. It's already decarbed and everything.
Yep.
Right.
Fuck yeah.
Can't wait, man. Well, I was actually I'm gonna get some of them fucking capsules because I want to make some of them like MCT oil like capsules, like what Fluffkin was making.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to making some of those. I want to make some of that or some RSO. I got to decide what I'm gonna do when I harvest stuff out of this. Even if it's just a little bit, I'd like to make some.
Yeah. Or could I even make RSO with those pucks too?
Yeah, you can, man. You can soak them. Absolutely.
Yeah, soak them in like just some fucking Everclear or something, right?
Yeah, grain alcohol. Yeah, do like a 3-day soak or something on them, man. It'll be a long process, but it'll be phenomenal when you're done, dude.
That's okay. I got
Right? I'd imagine that would be totally worth it.
Get some medical grade 99.9% isopropyl alcohol.
Okay.
Certified medical grade.
If you can't find that, I know you can find something around here that could work.
Yeah, it's on Amazon. It's pretty cheap.
They sell it at the HTG, my local grocery.
I know. Like on the res, they drink.
Yeah, if you like to go out of your house, then you can go to the local store.
No, my local grocery store has it. I don't know about my store, but.
Well, I just yeah. I don't like to go anywhere. Sorry.
Yeah, I feel you.
Right?
I don't either. If I don't have to, from here to the other grow and back, that's about it.
Well, I mean, yeah, but you don't have a 6-hour drive. I only get to go out.
I don't.
I only get to go out to my spot about once a week. So.
Damn, man. See, that would fucking kill me. I wouldn't know what to do. Honestly, I really that's a long trip, man. I'm lucky. I only got
think if I trip,
hell yeah,
if I trip from my apartment, I'll fall in my tent.
Are you riding the bus?
That's how close it is. Like, I'll trip and fall in my tent. Like my commute's very short. It's very short. Like that's why it's so dark right now because like I haven't really done a light proofing thing on my tent and it's super cheap. So like, yeah, I got like so many blankets over it right now. So I
You see that blanket right there? That's my 4x4. It's covered in blankets. It's in flowers. So yeah, I know. I'm Argo Max fucking tense, man.
Just my goodness.
I was mad. I was super mad when I found out like I should have spent the extra $20 on the tent.
Well, dude, I could have got a Gorilla Grow tent for like an extra $80 or something, and then had the extra height, all that extra shit. Because I spent $200 for this one, and it's fucking garbage.
Caribou game and naked.
Look at it.
Dude, I was high as fuck out there. When you were asking how far into the joint I got before I got high as fuck, and it wasn't very far at all, man.
Yeah, he's just sitting down there like, yeah.
But actually, So now I have a different perspective on this show because I was just out there just fucking trying to help blow the chat up and realizing just how much fucking fun that is in there, man. That was a riot.
It's hard to pay attention to that shit, man. Sorry, guys.
It's doing both is almost impossible for me. I got to kind of do this or a chat, but when it's out there and you got nothing but your phone in your hand, it's a lot of fun. I want to shout out the Weed Wizard. I'm not going to screw up his last name, so we're just going to go with @WeedWizard. We all know who he is, the Metal Mornings guy with the head bongers and shit. That guy's got an awesome little shtick that he does, and I love it. He's hanging out in chat right now. So what's up, brother?
What's up, bro?
Yeah, man. What's going on?
Same with Johnny. What's up, Johnny?
Yeah, Johnny's all fucked up on edibles.
Always.
I decided on 3, but I'm trying to get him to eat a 4th cookie.
That's ether right.
He's got surgery. I think tomorrow. So good luck with that, Johnny.
Thursday. Yeah, Thursday.
Oh well, then, Johnny, you better eat 5 then. 4's not going to be enough.
Right.
Yeah.
Fuck it. Just go.
I'm not going to have to put him under. He's going to show up to the hospital already knocked out.
Right.
Make it 6, Johnny. 6. Make it 6. Okay.
Yeah.
Definitely be 6.
Hey, can you guys come do the surgery at the house? I don't think I'm gonna make it.
Yeah.
Too funny.
It won't take much for them to knock him out. He'll get there and he'll be like, all right, I'm good.
Okay, 7. 7 cookies, Johnny. Eat 7 cookies and you'll be good.
I mean, the real thing is like, how many cookies do you have? I would just say that.
Not enough.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. Not enough.
The answer is always never enough.
He's probably got a shitload of them though. Knowing him.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah. He did. But he made that butter. He made that butter last time.
Well, I saw over the weekend.
He put all that stick. So
right, he was a baker's dozen this weekend.
That's another thing I forgot to bring out. The IT department made me some butter like the night before I came out here, and that's also in the fridge. This is the problem with leaving the house at like 5 in the morning because it's just
whatever's in the fridge stays in the fridge.
Exactly. Yeah. Unless you kind of like purposely put like your lunch kit right in front of the fridge as you're going to trip over it otherwise kind of thing.
I got to do that. Or put a note on the fucking door right in front of my face before I go out.
I got to go pick up the bed frame. I'll be right back.
Like that way, not even do it.
Go get your fucking lunch, or something.
I could sit there and look at a note and just be like,
I know,
and not even really read it. Whereas if I trip over something and bust a wrist or something on my way down, I'm gonna know. Okay, yeah, that was there for a reason.
Got the gummies going down the hatch.
Nice.
I already ate mine, man. I ate them all just right before.
I wish I had gummies.
And then, like I said, one I ate earlier that I fell asleep on. So I'm doing pretty good, feeling good.
To try and sorry to whip a dead horse there, fellas, but let's like Blazing Asian and Sam. Do you guys have any questions about living soils like that you'd like us to hit on? You're here, so anything that comes to mind, brothers.
I have a question on plants.
Okay.
So you can tell if they're female.
How to tell or when to tell?
No, when you can tell when they're female and male, right?
Yeah.
So like Sam, like how when did you flip yours? Like how long did you have to wait?
In veg before you flip the flower?
Yeah.
Depends on how big a space you got.
I had them. Yeah. I transplanted them into 3-gallon pots at the beginning of the year. So on New Year's Eve, that night into the new year. So I've just been like timing it by month basically. So I have them in veg until the 31st. That way I can because I'm awful at remembering numbers and I fucking should write things down, but of course here I am talking about it and I don't. So, but if I do it, by calendar date, if I do it by calendar date, then I can just look at the calendar and be like, oh, okay, I'm on week, here. I know I started on this date and it was a Sunday coincidentally. So it's like,
I hate writing shit down too. And I like muscle memory techniques. So
Yeah, right.
like
Yeah.
I'll use fan leaves as markers and pinch tips
right on.
or coordinated broken fan leaves, you know, opposite of north and south, because everything, my brain runs north south when it comes to plants. So
Yep.
when I look at leaves,
It's growing up in Utah, dude.
yeah. So I'll know which ones I'm breaking and clearing, and I'll mark shit like that. And then it also for Blasian Asian, hey dude, if you're are you just trying to figure out the sex and maybe want to veg a little longer? Because there is a little trick you can do where you can just veg for a solid 10 days at 12 and 12 with no interruptions, and then throw it back into veg, and then about 7 to 8 days later it's going to show its sex but go back into re-veg.
Yeah.
So maybe if you were wondering if it was just a male and you didn't want to put it in with other females, where you could sex it, throw it back in veg, isolate it back there, see what's going on, and if it ends up being a female, you know, throw it right back into the flower room, but don't put it really close under the lights, you know, put it off in the corner a little bit, let it kind of adjust, you know, to that crazy transition of
back and forth,
sunny cloudy days maybe, or whatever. That might help you.
Okay.
But if you depends on how big how big of a tent do you have, dude? Are you trying to just get size, like, you know, or try to figure out, you know, how big you want them?
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out like how late to just wait till I flip them. So
Just timing. Yeah.
I'll mute it.
I've kind of like messed around with it myself a couple times, you know, like
What I missed that. What happened?
The first time I tried it when they were, you know, only like a couple weeks of veg, and then the next time I think I did it with like a month or even a month and a half of veg, you know. But yeah, I just kind of played with it to see how big I wanted it in the tent, and I used different pot sizes too, different times. So many different damn factors, man. You know.
yeah.
Millions. It all depends on what you're doing and what your plan is. What you have mapped out in your head. You know, if you're thinking that far ahead, then you're planning for all those things, and then each grow is different too. You know, so like timing, weather, you know, barometric pressure, stuff like that. Like you got to account for all that kind of stuff sometimes.
Yeah, and your genetics. I mean, one genetic's going to fill in better than another genetic. You know.
Right.
So,
what time do you got to fit in what?
really,
Is it worth scrapping something or just throwing it into flower and seeing what you get? You know what I mean? Is it worth your time? Is it not worth your time? Is it kind of want to fuck it, I'm just going to do it anyway kind of a thing? Or, you know what I mean?
Hope we're not freaking you out or anything, man. There's a lot of shit though to go.
No, and it doesn't have to be that confusing.
And it really is.
What you can do is just look at the height that you have to work with, and let your plant grow so that you still have the ample space between the light and the canopy, and then you just go by the height. So you can expect wherever the height of your plant is, it's going to go at least another half to 2/3 higher. So that's when you know you can turn them to a flower, and you'll still have the space between the canopy and your light.
And know what your factory light, you know, height is supposed to be for flower too. You know what I'm saying? And kind of play with that a little bit, so you know how close you can get it. You know what I mean? So if you can, like right now, I got my lights are on the ceiling of my tent because I have, you know, just like 18 inches between that, and I'm just trying to keep them. But I'm maxed out, you know, as far as my height goes.
Yeah, but when it comes to tents and rooms, like when you see these commercial grows, they got their lights all the way to the ceiling because they have fucking 15, 16, 18 fucking feet. And they can just let those plants go, you know, and if they're trellised right and everything like that, they don't got to worry about that. So they'll raise their lights up and just let them go because it don't fucking matter when it comes to LEDs. And the right LEDs. And then if you're growing in a tent, you can't do that. You got to knot those sections up so you can stunt that plant's growth. Well, you're not stunting it, but you're just growing it.
Right.
You're growing it for a tent, not a.
Well, I mean, like that's kind of why I set mine
And if
flower, because I. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was going to
Well,
say
I'm
that's why I
just
set
saying
mine.
it makes a difference if you're not prohibition and you are. So go ahead. Sorry.
Right. I was just going to say, yeah, space is limited, so it was like, I like you said, Rick, I kind of not done this before. I doing a lot of reading, just kind of gauged, okay, if I do it or grow them to this level, I suspect they will, like you said, gain another third or so just from flower and stretching and all that stuff.
For sure.
Yeah. I'm gonna add something too real quick. A good way too is just so to make it like even simpler with what Rick said, is always based that no matter what it is, that when you flip the flower wherever you are, that plant is gonna double in size. And I mean double in size, so like you said, the third or whatever, but then you can cope like what you said, Sticky Bob, your light factor, so it's not confusing if for a new grower or something. So just until you get used to it, just always know, okay, yeah, I'm here. If I flip, I'm gonna double. You might not double, but just
right.
that, you know what
Think
I mean?
double.
Yeah, and it's just makes it easier, until obviously you learn and become a better grower and genetics, blah blah blah, all the other fun stuff that comes with all the shit, you know what I mean? So, but yeah, to make it easier too, I guess, you know what I mean, for everybody else or anybody watching, so.
Right, it's easy.
You can move your light down, but you can't move it up.
Absolutely.
Right. Yeah. Like, I mean, I have a lot of fish tanks, and I see a lot of like there's a lot of similarities in keeping all my tanks are planted, so keeping freshwater plants and growing this, it's somewhat like there's a lot of similarities. So like peat moss, for example, like there's a lot of things that you would use in an aquarium that you could use, like peat moss lowers pH and can trigger spawning, things like that.
Yeah,
absolutely, man.
There's a lot of cool similarities with that.
Yeah.
To a new grower, I would say that, I would agree that genetics are obviously the most important thing, but I would say that damn near just about as important is environment. Having proper airflow, air intake, or CO2. These are all vital to the happiness of your plant.
I agree, Rick. My book, that's number one. I don't care about anything else, because I when I first started, I blew thousands of dollars on just bullshit that I never should have done because I listened to things and all that. And now I'm finally at the stage of where I really want to be, and there's a few things else that need to be done. But my key thing, man, environment. Absolutely. If you can dial in your environment, man, you can get shitty genetics, man, and make them good. You know what I mean? It's to me, environment's number one, man. Absolutely.
That's what's good about the tents, I feel like, is because it's a little bit easier to manipulate those environments, instead of like having to do a whole room or something,
Right.
But also, like when something goes wrong with your environment and the tent, it can go wrong pretty quick and drastically, with humidity, especially if you're using a humidifier, you know what I mean? Something like that. Yeah, I mean, that's something I've ran into already with a humidifier, not having it hooked up to the timer with my lights on or something like that. You know what I mean? Because those are big differences.
Right.
For sure.
Well, I was going to do my best to keep this a surprise, but I can't stand it anymore. I'm going to do an unboxing. I got
Are you pregnant?
Pulse monitor.
Yeah, let's see.
Just shipped it a couple of days ago. Yeah, I'm really excited.
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah, that's next on my list.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah, man.
You're gonna be like,
I've heard nothing but good things
just
about
playing on your phone, telling us what your VPDs set and and all this other cool shit, and we're all gonna be like,
that's so dope. Fuck yeah.
yeah, looking forward to it.
Now, how big of an area does one of those cover?
That's a good question. I would guess that well, if you've got proper circulation and so on, that it doesn't really, well, you'd want to put it somewhere in the middle, but if you have temperature and airflow and CO2 and everything else,
It'd be the room, I guess.
It doesn't matter where you put it.
Yeah. That makes sense.
I forget. I've heard something where they recommend a certain coverage area. I don't remember what it is, but I know if you go to their site, they will tell you that they have a recommended coverage area. And I think
I think Rick's pretty
4x4,
spot on.
2x2,
All the air's circulating pretty well. I mean, like stale spots.
I was gonna say, too bad Opie didn't show up. I went out and went through I had to go digging through all my spare stuff and all my boxes of shit, but I found that PL grow system that he was looking for. I told him I'd give it to him. It's brand new, so this is it right here. It didn't work for me for my type of stuff I had going on. So
that's awesome, bro. It's pretty fucking cool of you, man. You always hook people up with cool shit, bro.
So
I got a lot of
internet connection for this thing, and then he'll be able to use it. But there's no internet where all my stuff's at, so I can't use any of this kind of stuff. So I told him I'd give it to him for half price. It's brand new. I'm sure that dude Paul or whatever his name will help him set it up. So I had to go find it. I told him about it. It took me a minute, but I did find it. So.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
Oh yeah.
If you're out there, Opie, I found it, dude. Just hit me up. I'll eat you up.
Hey, I'm sorry, but I gotta get going because you take care of my daughter. So
Tell her I said hi.
Blazing.
Oh, have a good night, man. Thanks for joining us. Brother.
Yeah,
We'll
thanks.
talk to you
Play
later.
some Minecraft soon.
Good to see you, Blazing.
Yeah.
guys,
Good job, brother.
It was great
I'll see you,
brother.
brother, dude.
later, guys.
All right.
Peace out,
Later.
homie.
Oh shit! You know what else I forgot to? I meant to ask this while he was on there. What about amending calcium into your soil, your living soil? So I got some
Okay,
crushed oyster shells, right?
That's what I would go to right there. It'd be my first choice.
Yeah, your oyster shell just breaks down very slowly. So, part of the key is you got to have a lot of your microbe life in there. You got to have you have to have a lot of life in your soil to get calcium to break down oyster shell to break down appropriately.
Okay.
So the big thing is you want to get it in there early, right away when you're doing that soil. You need that that good charge in there, and then you amend it a little bit every so often, but really when you put it on there, it breaks down so slow, and
should I be cow
the
magging?
plant really does need quite a bit of it. What's that?
Should I be cow magging my water until it actually has a chance to?
No.
I get some C90.
Some C90.
Yeah, that's what I use. I amend it into my soil, like deep in the bottom, and then I run it through at least 4 times a month. It gets ran through my soil, and with a water flush and an enzyme fucking package. So it's like it helps get that extra calcium and as well as like a shit ton of other trace elements that aren't available through water or even spring water, because it comes from the sea. And so it throws some other things for your microbes to and activates some other things too.
Okay, yeah, I've never used that personally. I'm gonna have to check. I'm gonna have to look in on that one.
Oh yeah, that's fucking. I'm falling in love with it. It's crazy. I did a hydro grow with it, and I took I took a bunch of notes too on a little video recording thing. But I only fed during a vegetative phase of this thing, like literally 20% of what the recommended, of what the feed chart was. I mean, it was literally nothing. It was like 400 ppm I was putting in there. And then I substituted the extra to get to the 1300 ppm I was trying to feed at late into the transition. I substituted with the C90 because it raises your ppm, right? It puts all these other things in there, and your meter reads that. My water was not only a lot cleaner, there was a lot less waste through my hydroponic system and a lot less buildup from the organic material that didn't get eaten up because there just isn't enough roots in a system like that for it to, to function like a living soil system. So not only did it clean up that, but it fed my plants. They were a little light. I could tell they were a little hungry, and you could tell they weren't getting fed all they wanted, but they were still fucking happy. And it was just the craziest thing to watch, to not see deficiencies pop up in a plant, like CalMag, the spots and the browning and the burning and stuff like that. None of it came. So it was really
while feeding at a low ppm too.
Oh, like
really?
Like next to nothing I was using of the bottle of a GH, a GH line. So it was the Flora Nova program. So and then I was just so impressed on how clean the bucket in the system was. I recently tried doing it without it, and my whole system was just dunked. And I used powdered nutrients.
So
crazy
did
stuff.
it help take up a lot of?
That's just an experiment to share with you that I did, and it was really interesting to see. And I did not see a single CalMag deficiency. I swear, like it was crazy. Super impressed.
Yeah, I mean, I use a fair amount of that oyster shell, and I'm real happy with it. But being as I've got so much life going on in mine, I've got so much life going on in mine that I can get through that oyster shell pretty quick. The worms, hell, they go by and eat it. They'll process that oyster shell really quick. So for me, getting the oyster shell in is not a big deal because of so much life. But I would definitely, you let that shit sit in your pot, you let it, break down, and you won't see any issues. If you're running your living soil correctly and you have all those microbes and you have that life, as long as you have that oyster shell in there to break it down, you're not going to have problems with calcium.
I like to add my oyster shells directly to my worm bin.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'll sprinkle them in there whenever possible. I'll try even my dry amendments. So you've all heard me talk about how I came across this, stumbled across really cheap source of kelp and alfalfa meal at our local feed store. Shit like that. I'll dump that dry and like a lot of it straight into my worm bin and let the worms go through that. And then I'll dump some like wetter, more like, banana peels and stuff like that to help with the moisture content in there. And oyster shells never seem to really stick around too long. It's your typical amount of time that you would expect your stuff to degrade in. And it seems to work great.
Yeah, they pull through. They eat the shit out of that oyster shell. They love that stuff. That and your egg. Obviously, you should be throwing your eggshell in there with that. And eggshell's a great source for all your calcium and all that good stuff. But you don't just want to like crush it up. You kind of want to powderize it. That eggshell when you put it through your worm bin helps them get it through faster, and it turns into the grit that they need to process that stuff in their stomach anyway. It's actually a vital part of them, eating and processing food. Yeah, it's pretty neat.
Yeah, what I'll do is I'll stick my eggshells in a blender and spin them up and just completely powderize them. But I've seen like Opie did his video of how to make CalMag, and I want to give that a shot and see how that works out, because I just we're all sick of hearing about my CalMag deficiency by now, but I just would rather have a DIY source of that. So if you just keep at it, and you don't have to worry about that popping up because you're already adding it all the time anyways, right? So
yeah, I mean, I have so much. I don't think I've really caught too many deficiencies. Maybe some early ones, but I corrected them super fast with a quick foliar of. I got all kinds of weird shit for calcium. So but a quick fall.
Okay, so
here,
now
and
even on like a quick flip run, like where Blaze and Asian and I about to do, right? So we're about to do like a sea of green of Cariboo's little stuff of in our 2x4, you know what I mean? Where we're just gonna fucking fill it out with all those genetics, you know what I mean? We're gonna see what's going on with them. And we're pretty excited about that, man. We got some of the dude. I mean, cool. I'm stoked, man. Yeah, so we got some of those gnarly ones in there. Hey, you want to know something that sucks today, Caribou?
What's up?
When I was I had mailed some seeds out today, and so I had one of your vials, and like, you know how you put like 3 different seeds in like one vial?
Yep.
Yeah. Like, well,
he
2
doesn't
of
know
those.
what they're not.
Yeah, two of them are mixed together, and it's the slurricane and the meathead cross. Those are like 2 of my favorite ones too. I was like, all right, well, that's cool. But luckily,
be solid genetics.
The ones I got in there now were already separated. So
yeah, those like both the meathead and the slurricane come from in-house genetics. Everything I've ever tried from them has been solid. So.
Fuck yeah, man.
And then the White Widow Afghani male seemed to be a pretty decent one. I believe those are both White Widow Afghani crosses that I sent you. So
what's that Super Silver Haze crossed with?
That I believe is also White Widow Afghani. I think there was only a couple people that got, I think it was like Meathead and one of my others that got crossed with Chemdog Afghani. The rest of them were the White Widow Afs. And then also I found the male for that I'm going to use for my Violator F2 project. We could have been talking about this a while ago, but hey, it's getting near closer later in the show, so it's good to have something in the chamber, eh? But so I picked this one for structure. Is always the first thing I'm looking for. Kind of just gazing through, be like, fuck, if it looks like a loser before you even get close to it, get rid of it, kind of thing. So it has pretty decent structure, a little bit more sativa looking. We're looking for as close to the Violator as we can get. Upon stem rub, that thing just reeks like puke. It's real strong puke smell. So I'm it's like doing the happy dance over here, all freaking excited. But the downside is though, all the best plant, like as always, I like keep all the best ones for the breeding project and whatnot. Most of the best looking plants were males this time around. I was like, which has never happened to me before. Usually I get like a bunch of good looking females, and then there's like a couple of males that just kind of look like each other, or you get one male and you don't get even a choice because you only get one. So I think it was like 8 different males I had to choose from. And so I got high hopes for this one. This is potentially the beginning of where Cariboo Hart genetics will finally start to take off, and we'll see. It's exciting.
Yeah.
And here's a quick question for you guys: when you're picking out your male, are you basically using your male just for your structure? I mean, are you how much of it is going to revolve around the stem rub? You know, how much of that, you know, do you think is going back into what you're breeding with, or for your male, are you basically just looking for structure?
For me personally, and Terp will probably go really well into this, but as a guy who's just up till this point, I've had kind of, I don't know exactly what I'm looking for in a male, but I know I got an idea of what I like my plants to look like, right? So structure, and I've heard that the males do give a lot of structure to the genetics. And then another thing, so like, I don't know, I haven't had a string or a male come up to me and just shake me and be like, hey, I'm the one right here. And so when you do stem rubs, and for the most part, nothing special, and you're trying to discern anything that pick me, when I run one and it's got stank, like it's got that puke stank that I've heard about. So I'm just like, wow, I've not seen that before. Not on a male. I've seen it on lots of females, but never on a male. So it's just like, those are kind of
obviously a benefit.
Yeah, I just took a step up, right? And so now Terp, who's done a lot more breeding and pheno hunting than I have, he could probably really go into this.
Hey guys, I'm gonna take off for the night and eat dinner. I'm starving and I'm beat, so I'll chat with you guys in the morning.
All right, brother.
Later, Pete.
Hey,
Good to see you, man.
Bros love, brother.
Hope to hear
Bros
from you
love.
soon.
Keep on
dude.
doing what you're doing,
Later,
brother.
man.
Stay lifted, stay
Good
blessed.
luck in the snow, buddy.
Thanks, man. I'll talk to you guys in the morning, man.
Stay warm. Make sure you prime that generator. Don't forget that. Very important part.
Oh, my mama.
I got
Speaking
you.
of mama, Ma, I love you. Shout out to mama.
What do you think, Turp? When you're looking for your male, what is the male bringing to your breeding program? What are you looking for that male to add to your?
I'm looking for the stinky ones in the solo cups at day 21. The ones that you can walk by in the room and you can smell them.
Okay.
I got an Irie orange, sun kiss, and it smells like an orange orchard, and it was only 20 days in a cup. So that's what stands out. That's what stands out to me.
Do you worry much about the structure of it, or do you not even care about the structure?
Yeah, you got to break pedials off, taste them. You want pedials that taste really sugary. That's the ones I like. I know that the sugar production's getting there hard. Like I just was taught, to do that. So that's what I do. And if I can, the ones that taste sugary when you eat them, those are good. Stem structures, you can take little baby clones early in veg, and that'll tell you a whole lot right there. You fucking cut one open and see. Do you want a thin wall structure? Do you want a solid structure? And then you can tell right off the bat too. Some of them are solid as an oak, or some of them are stringy like fucking celery.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. It's easy to find those.
If they're rubbery, fuck, I won't do nothing with them.
Do you care about just specifically, when you're breeding? Do you care about how much of a pain in the ass that plant is going to be when it's done? Trimming it, like a leafy plant or something that just has very little fan leaf, but small. Yeah. When you're breeding, are you looking that far ahead, and trying to get that into it?
For breeding, it just depends, man. Like feminized seed obviously has got to be isolated and stripped clean. The seed's got to be fucking dunked, or not dunked, but rice washed. Basically, I run it through a layer of dry rice, and then regular seed, like you just let it go dry and just squeeze it off like a sponge. Pedial leaves I'll get rid of because you don't want bud rot and shit when you're drying. I guess I don't know what you're asking me.
I think the gummies got to Turp.
I just mean, so when you're breeding and say you're looking at, if you're picking your male for the structure of your plant, the structure at the end when you trim that plant when it's done, so it's not a pain. And we've all had a plant that's a breeze to trim. You fucking just fly right through it and it's done. And then you got one where you're just gonna spend days on getting that damn thing cleaned up because it's all leafy. And do you look to is that part of your selection process when you're picking a male, is thinking about what that end process is gonna? That's kind of what I was trying to say.
So when I pick a male, as far as it just depends on what I'm going for. I mean, I'm not really. I want buds that aren't gonna smell like hay. So like if I flower something out and I'm gonna breed with it and it smells like hay, I'm not gonna fucking work with it because I don't want weed that's somebody's gonna dry out wrong or fucking dry out too fast or whatever and not survive. And end up smelling like shit. So as far as breeding goes.
Right.
Keeping a male around as far as structure goes, I go for looks these days. I'm fucking hunting terps, looks and smells. Structure is typically there now, depending on the genetics you're working with already. So, I mean, there are some people who's done a lot of work already to where you don't have to worry about a lot of things and you can like focus on other things. Not trying to say I just like skimp off everybody else's stuff, but I mean, you know, I don't really have a facility where I can go and back cross a bunch of shit and actually do some crazy reversing back cross stuff. You know, it's been talked about in other people's podcasts, but it's just shit that, you know, I do, you know, so.
Yeah. No, you make a really good point though. I mean, you know, the Ross
My
himself.
hands are tied. I can't do like the things I'm trying to help you guys do and the things that I want to do and the aspirations I have. I can't do all those things specifically right now. My hands are tied. I'm stuck to like one single thing and then stockpiling a bunch of stuff, waiting for space for me to break out. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Yeah. But exactly like you said, I mean, working
really
off other people.
Finding mills early and often. And it just comes with starting like by being able to see the roots. So once you can start getting that part down from the get, it allows you to cut out a lot of extra bullshit.
Yeah, you make a really good point though. I mean, you're using, you know, really good genetics, and you know, people like Ross and Jeff, you know, they've put all that work in to get that plant structure and everything grown the way, you know, you want it. So now you can go ahead. Yeah, it makes it easier on you. You can focus on the terps and the looks and the smells, and you know, you can just focus on that and not have to worry about the structure because that's already been bred in and locked in to the genetics you're using. So I mean, that's a real good point.
Spacing, branching, outer branching, trilateral branching, mutations. You know, it's I personally like trilateral branching. You know, the future of everything I do, I'm going to breed specifically for that. There's nothing better than fucking finding a strain and getting a keeper that puts out fat buds and it's got trilateral branches on it that space off a couple inches so you don't worry about bud rot, or you can get a stick or a twisty tie in there to, you know, pull it down on itself. Whatever, you know, if you get the king dingling, then it's fucking having that structuring is what allows you to grow that big stuff in small areas. That's what I look for anyway.
Yeah. Gotcha.
So as far as like advanced breeding techniques, that's where my focus is on that stuff. I already know I'm fucking with Nick, you know. And then land races, those will be fun to hunt out once I have space and time and can be paid to do so. And everything's legit. Yeah, I have
I mean,
I'm mindful of ideas of things that I want to get done and get done efficiently. So
and once you start playing with the land races yourself, I mean, that's when you're going to have to start worrying about finding structure again, because at that point they don't have, you know, the structure that we've been trying.
Yeah, you gotta have a backup to pop in there to give it to it, and
so that's
a couple
once you start playing with that,
some really good work. Fucking Afghanis. I know this guy over here to the right of me, Mr. Cariboo Hart Organics, has got some work going into some of his Afghanis right there, you know. So I know in the future I'd like to find a couple of his good ones and back cross that out of there, touch it with something else, and then give it back to him and let him do the same thing. You know, that's the fun of breeding with friends. So that's what I would like to do in the future.
Yeah, that's some cool shit. You know, I was gonna actually touch on something there, DP. You were talking about setting up that sea green and doing everything and making sure that calcium gets to your plants, you know, at the young stage, since you're going to be flipping like very quickly. You're going to be doing that. You need to make sure your soil is like almost more like super soil than like a living soil, because since you're going to be flipping so quick, and then those plants are going to be wanting to eat, and they're not going to stay in those, you know, little pots very long while you're filling that tent out. You kind of want to have that soil kind of pre-charged or pre-cooked, you know, so that you have a big batch of it sitting around. So every time you transplant, basically you're refeeding that plant, and it goes to town, and those roots grow into it.
Could like the living soil, would that work? And then just like top dress?
Yeah, it's still the same thing. Just you're gonna need to start it early. You're gonna need to like get it amended, get it sitting around, get some microbes in it, and get those things active. You're going to want to have that active, because you're not going to have the time to let that shit break down. because
Right,
you're
right.
growing small plants and a lot of them and in a quick time frame. So you're going to kind of want that. You want that stuff started like early and sitting around and ready to go.
Oh yeah.
That you're not waiting on it to break down. Because if you wait on it to break down, you're going to be chasing deficiencies the whole time.
Oh yeah. Well, that'll give us enough time because we got to get them in the dirt anyways. We got enough dirt to get
Chasing
them in
a
the
wet
dirt
dream.
to get started.
That's what I call it. Chasing a wet dream.
Oh yeah. Get it done.
They don't happen anymore.
Good luck.
You gotta induce it.
I gotta get going, fellas. Thanks for sharing the time with me.
Alrighty.
Pleasure meeting you, Beelzebub.
Thank you.
It was good seeing you.
Good to meet you too.
Thanks, fellas. See you later.
Have a great night, Rick.
Thanks for joining us. Thanks for being here. Welcome to the Moo.
What's a good way to get it going and just have everything already mixed up in there and then just give it a good.
So it's really kind of almost as simple as when
just
you
put
mix
the
up
tip in and stir it up.
Yeah, I mean once you get your castings in there and your compost in there and you get all that stuff mixed up, you've already started the process. So once you add the dry amendments to it, that soil is actually going to start working. I'd like to water it in a little bit. So I'll put it in a big, like Rubbermaid tote or something or a trash can. I'll get all that soil amended and get it all put in there for storage. And then I will actually water in Recharge, Mammoth P, and if I have any on hand, I'll put some EM1 in it. And I'll just water, like a gallon of that into it so that you are starting to breed the microbes and then let them start working on breaking all that stuff down. And then you let that sit for, a week, 2 weeks. And then
I'd like to suggest something too with that, because that is a great, fantastic little fucking concoction there. And you can go on Amazon too, and Raw, the company Raw, they have enzymes, powdered enzymes. And those are fantastic, man. Mix those up in with your water and put those on the top. I do it once a week with my water only feedings and add like a half a teaspoon per gallon. And you just amend that stuff in. And then when you get right into the right before the flushing stage, when you want to break up all that leftover, stuff, then you up the dose. I think it doubles like the last 2 weeks before your flush weeks, and I'll go up to a full teaspoon. And then it'll help break up all that extra stuff in there. Because at some point you got to come to you can't just keep feeding it in there trying to bulk it up, because it's already caked in there. You got to start working it out, you know what I mean, so that you can reset and redo.
Yeah.
But those raw enzymes, man, are fucking fantastic.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to look. I'm gonna have to look into those. You just said raw enzyme, powdered enzymes.
Yeah, it's just pure powdered enzymes, water soluble enzymes. Yeah, and added with that mixture of bacillus, like a HydroGuard or EM1, like you're talking about, and then whatever aminos and carbs or whatever you got going on, with your. And then
you make that
citric
soil
acid is a really great thing to help. What do they call it, as an entourage to breaking down, and it helps with your pH too. So the roots love that citric acid.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to look into that citric acid when I hear you talking about that. And I've never played around with it. I'm gonna have to check that out. That sounds interesting. I'm gonna have to look into that.
So you get it in a powder form and you mix it in a bottle and you add water to it and you shake it up, pour it in a cup, and see what the pH is, but start with a 7.0 pH, like a distilled water, and see what a capful does to the pH. And then that's how I determine the strength of my bottle in the citric acid, because I want the proper strength to be able to, I want to pour a capful in and my pH be at like 7, and I want to bring it down to 6 with a full capful. And that's how my brain works in that cap when I'm using it, because I don't do the millimeter thing anymore really with what I got going on. It's just not necessary. So
I totally get that. I'm a pinch of this, a dash of that, and fucking throw some of this in there while you're at it.
I got mycorrhizae doing the work. I'm just making sure it's at that level where it needs to be and not putting too much in.
Yeah,
I learned my lesson on making my first batch of soil with putting too much into what I did, and you get a test run out of one of those sometimes. So
besides the minerals and the micros, everything else I like to go real light-handed with, but the minerals and the micros I like to, or macros, I'm not sure which one. The really small, your
micro.
Your trace elements. How's that? Trace elements, yeah. But I'll go heavy with that stuff. I like to go heavy with that. But also, hey, when you go to set up that soil and you get it, also for more enzymes, malted barley. Throw some malted barley in that mix with it, and that's always a great thing to help charge up, enzymes and good shit in that soil. Helps start breaking things down too. So that's another one. I'll get 2 row malted barley.
I got some of that from Build-A-Soil. Shout out to Build-A-Soil, because they use really good clean products, and I just love their stuff. But they sent me some, and I ran just straight cocoa peat, but I had a little mixture of things trying to make it living only soil. But I amended that into the top of that, and it worked out fantastic. So yeah, it's a good idea.
Yeah, I've only been using it for maybe about a year now, and I'll tell you what, man, I'm a big believer, man. That barley has worked wonders. I was surprised. So the next thing I'll be adding neem meal. What's that?
It grows some pretty grass, really soft.
Yeah. The next thing I'll be messing with is putting neem meal on there with it, seeing how that likes to react to it. So
you said neem?
Caribou, do you run your stuff?
Yeah, I saw that
your stuff in living only soil. Do you test your stuff in the living only soil? Your beehead and your violator crosses and stuff?
How do you mean test?
Well, you said you're doing fish ponics, right?
At the moment,
you're just using it as a personal, like a mixer, basically. Are you keeping fish alive and using the water to feed with?
Yes, absolutely. I was trying to do aquaponics, and I still have a wedding cake and a super silver haze that are still in the veg stage. But I don't have enough room in my bloom, and especially when I'm considering shutting down a couple lights as it is. So I think those are just going to get transplanted into dirt pots, into bigger pots, and just see what they do. But fish water, I always try to water with fish water, because you're going to have your aquaponic, aquatic microbes in there. That's what.
Hell yeah, dude! When I had a hydro going, I loved reusing my hydro water and my old roots and recycling them in. I mean, it was just such a perfect harmony thing. It was fantastic.
We were talking about fish tanks earlier. I definitely want to get one.
Yeah, I would recommend it. And you don't even really need if you were to want to dork out and try and get into aquaponics, you could probably do it in just even a bit decent sized tote. Doesn't need to be an aquarium per se, just something that'll hold water. Get some goldfish, feeder fish even, right? They don't have to be expensive. I just
I would say guppies are probably even better, because they reproduce so quickly that you would have a huge bio load before, quicker than you would with goldfish. Anyway.
Hey, so real quick, there's a question in chat that I kind of want to get everybody's opinion on here. It says, so if I cut off half my root ball and replant, will my plant live late in veg stage? I've never went that extreme with root pruning. I recently accidentally kind of tore half my root systems off of one of mine, and it lived, but it was very pissed off, and it took a long time to recover. Has anybody else screwed around with cutting off a lot of their roots at one time?
Me personally, I've had not so much root pruning successes, but is you knock a pot over and you just you're forced to remove half the roots. Kind of sounds like what might have happened to you. And yeah, I think it's more strain dependent on that. There's some of them, they just don't see, like, you know, they always pout for a little bit, but usually they'll get back to it. But there's other ones, like you said, that they're just like, fuck you. And they're going to let you know that they're not happy and throw a tantrum on you. It's also probably depends on, a few other things. Like, are you stressing it even for, like, how bad are you stressing it while you do the pruning? Because you could be doing more stresses than just what you're doing to the roots.
Yeah, are they lamb races? Are you gonna start making them motherfuckers harm and shit? Like, are you trying not to do that? Are you trying to breed it out at the moment? Like, I don't know. I'd never really, like, when I'm trying to fuck plants up, it's because I don't want people to steal my shit. So I fucking put them in bags and I stomp the fuck out of them and then I get rid of them. I don't know. So when I destroy plants, I destroy them. So I guess I never really try to bring one back that bad. Males, I'll always, you know, chop the stalk and I'll leave one little sprout coming out with, you know, with some fan leaves on just that one, just a little hello. And then put it off in the bedroom for fucking months at a time and just let it come back from that. But, you know, and then repot it and fucking and put it in a new battery and let it go. But
yeah,
as
I mean,
far
I really feel like, you know,
when I take it off, I just always cut the brown off. If I see brown, it goes. You know, like, especially if it goes root bound, you start getting a lot of that and it starts just not good. And if you don't have your pots lined up with some secret sauce that I shared with you guys, then you get a lot of brownie. With that stuff, you don't see a lot of that. You get white roots that try and stretch back up out the top of the fucking biomass zone. You know what I mean? They go back to the bottom and then they hit the wall and they're like, hey, there's more stuff on the wall and we're going to keep going up.
Yeah, and I mean, it really, I think it boils down to how badly do you want that plant to live and how much time do you have? Because if you just keep taking care of it, eventually you'll get it back. But it's a matter of whether you want to put that time and effort into that plant.
That's actually a very good point right there, is how bad do you want it? Because there's plants where I've been like, yep, goodbye. And then there's other plants where I'm like, oh, well, my meathead, that was the hardest hit plant of the great CalMag deficiency of 2020 in my household there. And that one, I was not going to kill it. I was going to do everything I possibly could. My buddy Myrtle, man, he's got cuts of the mother at his house. And I asked him, hey, man, like, you got some lined up if I lose this thing? And yeah, he did. So we had our bases covered. But at the same time, we all know how we all feel about taking clones off each other. And if I can avoid taking those clones off them, then I'm going to. And I've taken clones from him successfully before and not gotten anything out of it. So, or any bugs or anything like that. But it's just, you never know.
Yeah, I mean, just make sure if we're sharing clones, guys, like, I mean, I know that we're going to be doing this here in the future and stuff. Just make sure you're treating with the fungicide and insecticide. Using, if you're using, well, you're going to have some kind of soilless to send the way we want. Well, I guess you could send regular cups too. But anyways, yeah, just use the right stuff. You know, keep the fucking viruses out. I don't know. Use inoculate if you're not going to run completely sterile.
Yeah.
And if you are going to run sterile, make sure you inoculate right after before you send them out too. Make sure they're ready to go. Don't just inoculate and then mail out, because that doesn't work.
Yeah, I plan, you know, if we're gonna, well, if ever
you guys are gonna want some chocolate lava cake. This thing just grows ridiculous and it's fucking good. I'm just gonna share it with everybody. There's no use keeping it all to myself.
It looks good.
Yeah, it grows good. It doesn't matter, you know, how little you use or how small a pot or
you can always make more.
Budget. The nugs are always just it's just ridiculous. Grows fast, grows strong. Strong potential for trilateral branching. Tops real well. The structure I know will be great for both outdoor and indoor because it's got a solid oak structure. I super cropped it and it took it like a champ. You know, it foxtailed a little bit off of it, but I mean, it swelled up in the end. So can't beat
Ain't
that.
nothing wrong with a little foxtail.
Yeah, Yeah, it harvested. It took a cold dry. It took a cold fast dry. Smell is still there. The terps didn't lose anything. I'd probably take it about 70, 72 days. So, yeah, it'd be fun. Yeah, and then it turns super deep dark chocolate on the top of it too. It just browns out real nice. So it's pretty cool. I probably took it a little further than it needed to go, but I mean, I just wanted to see, So.
Yeah,
it's just sounds nice.
Yeah, you guys. I'm gonna give it to everybody, regardless of anything. So that's what I do.
Yeah.
That's who I am. So
you guys are all awesome like that.
gotta keep the love alive. Shit,
I'm excited to see
found
what
a
this.
clone of a lifetime with that fucking Bubba Kush and gave out 150 clones to the masses. So, and he
Right.
didn't have to. He didn't care.
Yeah.
He had to pay. He had to pay for that motherfucker too. So.
A badass motherfucker right there.
Yeah, I want to keep that spirit alive. That's I think that's what I do.
That's what we should do.
And then, obviously I'll get in a professional setting at some point in time, and I can't just be giving away genetics all the time, but I'm definitely going to give some dank away. And whenever I find something new, I'll fucking take what you want and give the rest away. Right. That's what it's supposed to be. So.
No doubt. I mean, there's nothing wrong with keeping your own genetics, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, of course.
I mean, if you're working at a professional setting, I would.
I mean, like if I'm working in a professional setting,
that they know I'm at home fucking around too.
I'm gonna be working for somebody or with somebody, and we're gonna obviously have things that we have to do, but there'll be other things I can do to give away to the people.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, not everything you have to do has to be in that professional setting. You can always do your pet project at home.
That's what I mean. I just like, I don't know. I could see if someone got a job at some corporate, like the bottom line type place, because I'm sure there's places like that. And
I mean,
I don't know.
Indica B's got
Colorado.
a great idea, man. He's trying to do something, but he's trying to put together like a whole farm idea, with a little breeding aspect to it, to where I can just come and play, and get stuff done for the farm. So that would be dope.
Yeah, that's awesome.
But then, yeah, and then like as far as at home and shit, like of course. What is the fun stuff? I want to breed glow in the dark weed. I fucking shit you not. I am fucking gonna find a goddamn way to do it. I swear to you.
Yes, do it.
If I'm given the materials and the right stuff,
Mama, you do that.
I'm fairly certain with a little bit of time, like the algae and the mycorrhizae are gonna be the fucking key to getting it into the amino acids. So
absolutely.
Have you looked into any studies on it yet?
Like a 10 strip before I. Oh yeah.
And I don't want to share a whole lot right now, so don't ask me any questions. I don't know a lot.
Okay, we'll keep that one on the DL. But yeah, I was going to ask you about something that I heard of, so we'll keep that on the DL.
Okay, ask me. I want to hear. Maybe I don't know. Shit. Share.
Yeah, it was just on some studies that were done on like quinoa, I believe it was, where I think they were successful with it to make it fucking glow in the dark, or at least phosphorize it to where it would glow under the black light.
Right.
I don't remember which.
Well,
I need to
they're called
refine that
GFPs.
article.
So they're green fluorescent proteins is what they are, and they're protein tags. And then essentially you got to get these GFPs, and you got to get these protein tags into amino acids, and that's the only way to get it into the plants, really. And algae are really great at breaking down amino acids and stuff. So, and really good at hosting GFP. So maybe with some like pink microbes and some M-troughs and some fucking tanks and some coral reef and some fucking water samples and some tea brewing. Who the fuck knows what could happen?
Oh, that'd be the best name ever. Call it Neon.
I read all this stuff and all these doctors publish on all this information on all these studies they do. and that's when I go and I read through all that stuff. I see what
Yeah.
doctors are doing, what studies, and then I figure out it's like cooking, and I try to figure out, okay, well, they're isolating them in these tags and amino acids, and how can I make that egg similar or butter or something?
Yeah, I'll have to see if I can find that specific study that I had found, and then I'll try to see if I can get that shared with you, just to see if it's anything that you haven't seen yet. So.
There's a lot I fell off the map the last couple weeks, bro.
Ask Alexa.
Or do nothing. So.
Terp, ask Alexa.
Ask Alexa what?
The bioluminescent thing that Fluffy was talking about.
Do what?
See if it'll look it up.
Ask her how to make your weed.
What do you want me to
Ask her how to make your
See if
your
it'll look
weed.
it up.
How,
Bitches.
say, Alexa, how can my weed glow?
Siri, hey, I swear to God, Siri's so smart, it's dumb as hell.
Oh, did you hear my girl talk shit? Fucking.
Have you ever just got in a full-blown argument with Alexa? Because I have. That bitch does not like to listen.
I got so mad at her that I walked up and unplugged her. I was like,
I wish I could do that in an argument sometimes. You have been unplugged.
I've definitely cussed Alexa out a few times,
Oh yeah.
I think I've
she
actually
says
heard her
I'm not
feelings
gonna.
before.
Siri says I'm not gonna respond to that or some shit. I can't remember what it says, but it says something.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought Caribou went to go smoke another J or something.
No,
I bet he doesn't.
Yeah,
I was like, I bet he hates not being able to take big old fat dabs in the middle of a show.
Pisses me off. Well, it doesn't piss me off, but it's like it's
Right,
not.
yeah.
It's not the convenience of home.
When you get back though, oh man, you're about to get blasted.
Okay.
Yeah.
When you get back.
Yeah, I just got a message saying, "Hey, come out for a joint." So I'm like, "Fuck yeah, I can do that." Because the whole having the phone and being able to hang out and chat, that was actually a lot of fun when I was out there for the last one.
Yeah, I was wondering if you were even going to bother coming back, or if you were just going to hang out and chat the whole time and just run the show from out in the parking lot.
If I had more joints, I would have stuck out there longer.
Isn't it cold?
No, it's actually not bad, man. I mean, a place called Vernon, and it's like it was plus 5, plus 6 around there, pretty much.
Oh wow. Yeah, that's damn near tropical.
However that translates to Fahrenheit.
It's like 40. It's like above freezing.
You
right?
and your goddamn weird numbers over there and shit.
Yeah, we use them freedom units over here.
Is that what they are?
On my mama. Oh wait,
no.
I thought they were like YOLO minutes now or something.
Yup.
Oh shit! Hell, you know what, guys? I think it's getting a little late for me. I think I might call it a night for tonight.
I'm about to go cross-eyed. I'm tired.
All right.
Hey, I appreciate all the information, guys. Y'all helped out a lot tonight. Tomorrow I'm gonna go out tomorrow and piece everything together and get that shit cooking. So get a nice base going and everything.
Yeah, hell, I just hope I said something intelligent that helps somebody. That's all I hope for.
Hey, don't help me.
Appreciation. I guess it doesn't even have to be intelligent. As long as it helps somebody, I'm good.
Yeah.
We'll catch you all.
What's up, brother? Hey, growers love, man.
Peace, love, and respect, and many blessings to all you and yours.
All right.
Yep.
You too, buddy.
So everybody pretty much done then. We're gonna go smoke a joint. May as well call it a night.
Yeah. I reckon so, Bubs.
Yep.
Hey,
good.
Sam, thanks for joining us, Bub.
Yeah.
I really appreciate it.
Hey, man, thanks for having me.
Is that soil behind you?
It looks like it.
Oh,
indeed.
He done caught the fever.
Yeah.
All right.
Pretty much.
Y'all be good.
All right, guys, I gotta go get high. We'll talk to you later. And
Yeah.
Sam, it was great finally getting to meet you and put a face to the name, man. It's
Fuck yeah, y'all be good.
And we'll be talking
Right
about
on.
our project that me, you, and the Weed Wizard have been talking about here in the real near future. I'm just out of town working. You know how life gets sometimes, and we'll be in touch shortly. All right, everybody
Yeah,
in
buddy.
chat. Once again, it was
Cool.
fucking awesome hanging out with you guys. I had a blast, and actually, joint breaks aren't so bad when I get to go hang out with you guys. I don't mind that at all. It was fun. Everyone.